am looking to see whether this is the 7th, the 17th, or the 27th PGM day, but I can't find any reminder, but we've done this a lot of times, so welcome back. You know, when the average age of an industry gets to where we are, we have fantastic medical services available, not for a full annual medical, but if anything happens, that sort of left-hand corner, there's a medical team. So if one of your colleagues needs medical assistance, we've got a proper medical team on site, okay? So we should all make it. But if you've survived Donald Trump so far, you've survived GNU childishness. I mean, geez, guys, this is nothing. I mean, it's a conference, one day of having fun. We can survive anything in this industry. I do not take credit for the madness of the world, but my gosh, I like the moment of time. I mean, here we are going to talk about one of, I think, South Africa's key industries at a point of maximum madness. I mean, if you told us we could be at a point where we don't know what the heck is going on, yeah. I mean, we would have said, yeah, okay. No, it's not like that. And then, of course, it's almost like our local politics and the childishness of people who do grandstanding when the house is on fire. It's almost like it's irrelevant. It's almost like we, just get over yourselves and move on, and So we're going to recognize that there's a lot of uncertainty, but that's why starting with the CEOs of our larger PGM producers, this is their life now. This uncertainty has to be translated into strategies, into long-term plans, into capital allocation. I mean, the beautiful concept like we invest through the cycle. Yeah, what the hell does that mean where we are today? So we're going to help, with the help of the CEOs, unpack why do they come up with the strategies they come up, how do they position their companies, because a whole ecosystem depends on that. Bad decisions at corporate level flows through to our economy, flows through to everybody in the system. So I am so chuffed and grateful again for the guys who all accepted to be here. I think they all regretted it. I know every conference the night before I think, what the fuck was I thinking, accepting this invitation? I know, but then you know I will be rude to you if you're not here. So you are here because I would be rude to you. But at the end, you're going to think, I'm glad I did it. My voice needed to be heard. So let's get cracking. We are going to hear from the biggest bullshitters in the world, our analysts, our forecasters. I mean, nice people, but we know they are bullshitters. They're going to tell us what the platinum price is going to be. I mean, clever people like Henk and Wilma are going to lie to us, and we're going to applaud them because they also don't know. And I think more and more they know that they don't know. But we still have to take those views, and I think that's going to be a fantastic conversation in its own right. If our Minister of the DTIC pitches, we'll have some interesting conversations about South Africa's positioning in this mad world. Because, of course, at other conferences, we have to have the old man, and he has to come and tell Trump to go jump in the lake. But I think for the PGMs industry, perhaps the DTIC is a more relevant political entity or governmental entity, because I think we're going to have to box clever in this world, and we will see if the DTIC plans to box clever, or we'll unpack that with Minister Park-Stow if at 12:15. I personally, in preparation, in thinking about the PGMs industry as a spectator, I was amazed at how many green shoots and positive narratives I pick up. I'm not yet sure whether I believe it or whether we're just saying it because we have to say it, and we'll try and unpack that. But I think we're going to hear phenomenally successful stories around, for example, platinum jewelry and the prospects for that. We'll test it. We'll ask the audience to comment on it. So I hope at the end of this day, this narrative we allow lazy people to have, that this PGM industry in South Africa is the new sunset industry. I hope we put that to bed. It's clearly an industry with phenomenal challenges. Yeah, so what? But I will be damn surprised if in 50 years from now there isn't still a PGM producing industry. I'm still not convinced Roger Baxter's company will exist by then, but again, I'm just saying that, Roger. We'll later unpack and you can counter my arguments. Okay, let's get serious because we're here to have a very serious conversation. We have about 200 people in the room, I'm guessing, because we have seats for a bit more. We have about 200 people online, so we always have to equalize the conversation through Slido. Slido is the platform through which you put your questions to the system. It comes to me, and I am the facilitator of questions back to the presenter or the panelists and so on. It works well. It frustrates the people who want to hold the microphone and tell us how clever they are and lots of other things. But for most of us, it works well because you have to formulate your question, put it to the front, and I will put it to the audience. So in order to get to Slido, you have to now steal the person next to your phone, if need be, point the camera at the little, that code that I still don't know what code it is called, QPR, huh? QR code, that one. And click on it. It takes you through to the two things we can do on Slido. The one is we can do polls, and we can practice a poll. What is the most outrageous political statement you've heard? I haven't put names to it, but I cannot enact an orange voice, but tariffs won't hurt America. I can also not enact our president's voice when he says he's shocked at the state of Joburg. I can probably enact Herman's voice when he says there will be no VAT increases or backward creep. And then we'll ask Minister Tau to enact his own voice when he says this DTIC fund is just not another tax. So it's sort of tongue-in-cheek. Which one of these do you find the most outrageous? Unfortunately, you can't vote for all four. This is also a collective IQ test. I mean, about 30% of you so far are participating. So I'm worried about this audience. Yes, I have to work with what I get dealt here, but this is not fair. I mean, geez, guys, it's not hard. I mean, pick up your damn phone. Participate. If I take of the 120 people, 100 are probably online, then you guys are even worse. Eh? So just be kind to our CEOs. Eh? I mean, if they say really stupid things, I know they get paid well, but none of the things that they can say matches these statements. I mean, there's some phenomenal statements floating around in the world now. Eh? Okay, so you get the hang of it now. We also want to do, from time to time, we'll do a yes-no question, just to keep the conversation a little bit focused and honest. We used to call it the BS barometer, and BS should have stood for Bernard Swanepoel, but everybody assumed it stood for bullshit. So we changed the BS barometer to the ZBS barometer, okay? So it doesn't stand for bullshit barometer. Somebody immediately said, so now it stands for zero bullshit barometer, but I'm trying, eh? So I want to put a question to you around a yes-no question. Can we just ask you to comment on PGM mining in South Africa as a sunset industry? If you vote yes, your chair will automatically eject you through the roof and you will be sent out of the room. I'm going to show that by pressing yes now. See, I'm pressing yes and sent. You can see me and 7 other people voted. I would have been surprised. Obviously, it's a PGM day. Obviously, we are where we are. But I honestly and unashamedly, as a gold miner in South Africa, caution you to jump onto the narrative of sunset industry because it makes things easier for you. No good comes out of that. Change that narrative. Okay, those were sort of tongue in the cheek. I want to ask a little bit so that our speakers all have a sense. Of the major PGM metals I'm most bullish about, and your choices are rhodium, platinum, palladium, or none of the above. What are you the most bullish about? This saves me the time for Wilma and Henk to present. Okay, so we've clawed back an hour at least. See. Collective wisdom, madness of crowds. Thank you very much. Final question before we start morning. The supply-demand imbalance can be fixed by... I can't help myself. I'm still struggling to buy into hydrogen, but I'm working on it, okay? So let's pray for hydrogen to take off. So that's me, my cynicism. Of course, we can cut back on production. Of course, we can do much more aggressive market development. You have to choose one of the three. Yeah, we're not a praying crowd. Huh? We don't want to pray for hydrogen. Anyway, it's always just interesting to test audiences' sort of perceptions, perspectives at the start of the day. We may or may not, from time to time, interrupt and ask you as an audience to comment or to reflect. Those will typically be simple questions, although I always mess it up with a yes or no answer. So please keep your phones next to you. We are starting off with three of the company's CEOs. The reason this panel makes fantastic sense is these are the three producers that, in my non-PGM definition, are the integrated producers, and they're customer-facing. They actually mine the crap. They add chemicals and electricity to the crap, and they then sell it at a fantastic premium to final customers in most instances. So I think there's significant overlap, but what we will unpack is, to some extent, the differences in portfolios and in approaches to that. So if I can ask all three of you to please come join me on stage, and we will move into session one. Craig, Richard, Nico, as a belief.